You should have a world of knowledge there because of the work that you're reading.
What is the way forward, Julius? After experiencing all of this, I mean, you should have enough experience to say that.
Maybe tell them how they can handle some of those issues.
Those things. What do you see as the way forward for students and research in general in the university?
Yes. The reason why I'm so interested in this is because I'm, first of all, advocate of vote sizing. I don't know if you've heard about vote sizing. That is, we are out to fight corruption in all its forms. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. I was with a friend, a military friend. I left his house that kind of 10 p.m. and we were going towards the road because he was going to see me off. And we passed through a dark corner, and I asked him, "Don't you guys have peace here?" He told me the first time he came here, he was going, just like we were going to see my friend. Two guys stepped in front of him and told him, the cigarette. He asked them to quit. So no more the cigarette. He insisted. And when he removed his gun, those guys started begging. And he told them, and these guys have never ever been there. Now look at these guys as corruption, and look at this my military friend as a victim. See, what I'm saying is, students need to be empowered in order to fight the corrupt attitudes of these supervisors or lecturers who I consider are just are literally PhD orders, because morally I don't think they deserve a first school living certificate. It's very disastrous to see that someone who has a PhD is promoting or asking students, how can you train people from École Normale, and someone just asks what is so normal about it, and you are putting them into the system, asking them to give you money in order for you to supervise their work. And let me even tell you something that happened recently. Some of these students were complaining that their supervisors send them to a particular guy to go and meet that guy, for that guy to proofread and help them or assist them write up their dissertations. When they went up to this guy asked them to give 50,000 francs each. Now, after you give this 50,000 francs, this guy will help you one or the other to come out of work. Now, after you defend, you still need to give him another 50,000 francs. And this money, this guy shares it between him and the supervisor. And that is the PhD fellow, you know.
All right.
It's a whole
Thank you so
corruption. And last year in Uganda, I want our students to take this example. The students there formed an organization to fight corruption in their universities. And, you know, an organization of students is a way of empowering them. Because if you are not in a group, if you are not united, there is no way you can complain, because complaining will put you more into trouble.
All right. Thank you so much, Julius, for talking to us. Maybe some other day we'll call on you to talk about other issues. Thanks for giving us your time. But he said something very important, that students should be empowered to be able to denounce some of these things. But a student who cannot write a single line of his memoir is at the mercy of his supervisor or whoever. Because some of these students go to these people to write the dissertations.
And what Julius has said, is really serious. You have a supervisor who sends you to somebody who will assist you. When you say assist, I think it's a euphemism, you know, to assist you, right? I mean, it looks like it's writing for the student, and then the student comes to defend in front of that supervisor. What kind of thing is coming out of École Normale?
An assisted work like that, you can rest assured that the student will have real problems on the day of the presentation of that work.
And of course,
since that's going to be in front of the supervisor who sends you, those things will be easily managed. Now, the question I want to...
the question... say easily managed.
No, of course.
You know,
I want to come back to Nyaa Hans in the studio, and when we talk about research, the one thing that comes to my mind first is documentation, libraries, and all of that. Because he made a remark a little while ago that some of these theses are full of things that have been
cut and paste
from Wikipedia and pasted in the work.
Is it available? Do you have
documentation and research? Please tell us a little.
I think I had to come back to that. The issue, I think, all comes on the infrastructure at level of university. But we have to understand that our libraries, let's take for instance the case of the University of Yaounde, the one that I master so much. We have just one main library there, yes, and many people do complain that they're just very old books, and research is being updated almost on a daily basis. And in the other departments, so there are some departments that don't have a library. And even sometimes when you get to the library, you don't even like to use it because books that are there are books that have been donated by organizations for well over 20 years, and it becomes a problem. But all the same, the world is fast becoming an electronic world. And so many more students, many researchers, they cling very much to the internet. Now, about the internet center, sometimes when you even get to, we used to have a multimedia center in the University of Yaounde, but it was just over 2 years, and after that it's been closed down.
So the university has no center where students can really carry out research, regularly carry out.
I think being inaugurated by the former rector, Professor Tabi Manka, if I'm not mistaken, but it was just there for 3 years because it was being managed by the student body. And now there were about more than 200 computers there, and it no longer exists. And again, at the level of the lecturers themselves, sometimes when you get to the offices of lecturers, nothing even inspires you, nothing motivates you to be a lecturer like them. Because not only their offices are just too small, you find many of them cramped in one office. Many of them don't even have offices.
They don't even have space to display some of their books that they've collected along their academic career.
The chairs they sit on are torn, broken chairs. None. Don't even talk about the internet because they don't even have computers. Few of them who have their laptop to use those things, but most of them don't even have computers. And at this level, when you work in such an environment,
it's very frustrating. It's frustrating.
Absolutely.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Can I participate?
Go ahead.
You're already participating.
Oh, thank you. I'm interested in what Mr. Nyaa is saying.
What's your name?
Stephen Forte, Professor of University of Yaounde.
Good morning, Prof.
Yeah. It's interesting the way they are damaging the work of the teacher. And I would like the guy who binds memoirs there to try to do a dissertation for himself. And let us see how easy it is. It's easy to run your mouth and say things. Anyway, for any master's dissertation to go through, it needs to go through review. That is, when the student has finished the work, it has to go for review. That is, a sort of external examiner before they defend. If you give money to the supervisor, does he determine what the president of the jury will say, what the examiner will do? So students who cannot do their work rely on supervisors. Oh, my supervisor is not helping me. He is not giving me the books. He has the books. He is not giving me the books. And all sorts of laziness. I would like the name of the guy who is in Bamenda who wants 300,000 from 6 students before finishing up their work. I'd like mention his name if you can. I think that's a logical way of fighting the corruption, rather than put everybody in the same mess. I mean, to say that if the teachers took bribes, as you say, all of them should be riding cars. I'm happy Nyaa says he enters taxis with some of them who do not have money.
Who do not even have offices.
Who don't even have offices. Which means that they are as poor as you and I. If they could have money, then they'll buy better cars and maybe furnish their offices with air conditioning Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah, but I understand Prof's problem. I know who he is. I know the type of person he is. I know the mold through which some of us went through together. I know, but I would like to think that Prof, in as much as you react and you are right, and I know why you are reacting the way you are doing, you are not everybody. In the other areas, people are not you and cannot be me. In other departments, probably not in your department, not even in your faculty, others do what you think they are not doing.
That's why he says if
they should be
accusations,
they should be given, names should be given.
And that's the best way of fighting.
That's the best way of fighting corruption, but then it's a little bit risky.
No, especially for Julius, who says he's in a movement. What did he call it? Vote holders or something? Vote sizing to fight corruption. They should be able to denounce some of those things publicly. Whatever the case, we shall be coming back after the news in French.